My name is Dr. Anthony Raimondo. This is What I Teach, presented by Accelerating Evolution LLC, and this is my classroom. Some of you out there may be between the ages of 13 on up, and you're my subscribers, or you've been my subscribers, or you're on my subscriber list. Some of you may be older, 19 to 24, and some are even older yet. Now, I'm talking what I have to say to the 13 and 18-year-olds. You boys and girls, young adults, have some of you may or may not have given a thought as to what your career is. What does life have in store for you? What is it that you're supposed to be doing? Some of you between the ages of 18 and 24, maybe you're in college, maybe you've just graduated, and suddenly you realize you went to school and you studied something you really don't want to do. Maybe you're even a little older yet, and you're 24 to 30, and you're in a job. You've been in a job for a couple of years. You thought you had this was the career choice that you wanted, and suddenly you find out, I really don't like this work. This is really not what I want to do. Well, that's what I teach is all about. What I teach is how you can discover what it is that you're intended to do here. What you can be great at. What you can be better at than anyone else. And that's what we teach in my classroom. Now, I've taught this to children in a regular classroom, in special ed classrooms. And I've developed this strategy from years of teaching. I've also written a book. It's called Return to Eden, Escape from Armageddon. And basically what it's about is how to find your own personal theme. How to find your personal theme so that you can achieve greatness. And if you I have a website, Accelerating Evolution LLC. It comes up on the credits. And if you want to purchase the book, you can go to my website, and you get the publisher, and you can have this copy like this. Or if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll notice that there's a link there where you can purchase the ebook edition. And I recommend that. Just download it. You have it instantly, same price, and follow along with the program to help you discover what it is that you're intended to be great at. Now, let me share a little story with you. I recently was in a library, and while I was in the library looking at books, I still like to peruse the library and like the old school method. And I'm in the library and I'm looking around, and this young lady is in the library, and she walks over to the counter where the librarian is. Very, very beautiful, attractive girl. Very professional looking. Really gorgeous. And a lot of the young guys, were turning their heads to look at her. She was really something special to look at. But anyway, she walks over to the library counter, and in a real loud voice, I couldn't believe it, but in a real loud voice, she said, "Can I have a double cheeseburger, French fries, and a Coke?" The librarian looked at her, raised her eyebrows, like, what? And then she was startled, because she shouted at her. And she looked at the young lady, and she said in a whisper, "This is a library." This is a library. With that, the young lady turns around. She looks around the room. She sees people reading. She looks at me. I'm, selecting a book. And she looks at some other people. But she notices that everybody's nice and quiet. So with that, she leans in on the counter to get closer to the librarian as possible. And in a whisper, she says, "Can I have a double cheeseburger, French fries, and a Coke?" Now, I ask you, what do you think of this young lady? What one word would best describe her? Clueless? Yeah, I can think of some others, and I'm sure you can too. But let's use clueless as to where you are. Well, that's the theme of that story. See, the theme of the story is that this particular girl is clueless. You see, that would be the theme of that story. Because today we're going to be discussing theme. What's your personal theme? See, now, if I was to ask you this question, if I was to write your biography, your life story, like a book, what would the theme of the story be? See, in this story, we have clueless. What if, let's take another story. Some of you may have seen a movie, or maybe you read a book on a film called, or a book by Edmond Dantes, and the title of the book or the movie is The Count of Monte Cristo. Now, in that story, all this guy is thinking about is revenge, to get even with some guys that stuck him in prison for something like 28 years. So he wants to get even. Revenge. That's the theme of the story. If we were to look at Spider-Man 1 and we would try to figure out what the theme of that story is, well, there's a scene in where Steve Parker's with his uncle, and his uncle says, "With great power comes great responsibility." So the theme of that movie is great responsibility. He becomes the Spider-Man, and now he has a responsibility of what he's going to do with all this power. You see, there's a sub-theme also, good versus evil, because he's a good guy and he's out to get the bad guy. So we have a sub-theme. Okay, many superhero stories deal with that theme, good versus evil. What's your theme? If you were to sit down and try to figure out what it is about me, what's that one thing that describes who I am? You see, let's take Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb. All right. What's his theme? Well, you could say he's an inventor. He invented the light bulb, right? He invented the light bulb, therefore his theme is inventing, or his mission is to invent, right? He's an inventor. That's what his theme is, inventing. So he likes to invent, and certainly if we look at the life of Thomas Edison, we know that he patented over 240 patents, and he invented all kinds of things, including the first phonograph, which became the record player, which we now have as the CD, and on, CD players. But he started that genre, okay, besides the light bulb and many other things. So, that's what he did. And we can also look at Thomas Edison for another thing. What was the fruit? The Bible talks about the fruit of your labors. What's the fruit of your labors? Well, his fruit was a light bulb. So what is the fruit of your labors? What is it that you produce? What is it that you do that can benefit society? Notice I'm looking at what benefits society. Today, a lot of people are too interested in, I want to be great, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. I want to be rich and famous. You want to be rich and famous at doing what? Being an athlete? Being a movie star? Well, you could become rich and famous doing those things. But is that really your life's mission? Why you're here? I believe that everyone is here to be great at something. Great. Now, you don't necessarily have to be rich and famous to be great. A friend of mine, Freddie Tenor, he does videos. He's one of the vidiots.com, and he does a lot of videos about firefighters, firemen. And you will know, and these guys, you know, they don't make a lot of money. But every time there's a fire and they go in that fire, they risk their lives. And they're risking their lives to save people's lives. Now that's being great. Saving lives is great. It's, you know, so you don't have to be rich and famous to be great. Now, there are firemen that are obviously better firemen than others, right? So you could be great at being a fireman, greater than the others. These are the guys that, you know, really go out there and you know, and I'm sure there's a fireman out there who know who the guys that are really take the extra risk are. Okay, so what is it about you? What is it that you could do? What is it that's outstanding about you that you could be great at being? Now, this series is going to help you discover that. There's already some videos, some preliminary exercises on my YouTube channel that will help you. And I will be talking about them from time to time. But this was the beginning. Start looking at what could be my possible theme. Now, my theme is evolution, evolving, changing. That's what I do. I love to evolve. I love to get better at what I'm doing, and that's why I'm here in this YouTube to help you to evolve and be better at what you're doing, at what you could be. So those of you who are 13 years old, you really got to jump on this, because let me tell you something. If you know what you're going to be, what you could be great at, and you have an understanding of what it is, why you're here on this planet Earth, then you got a head start. You got a head start. So take a look, start investigating. Go to my YouTube channel to look up the preliminary exercises on how to begin this process. Also, if you can, pick up a copy of my book, whether the hard copy or the ebook copy. The emails are my website is listed at the end of this video, and on my YouTube channel you can find the link for the ebook. Okay, hope that you'll be continuing to watch this series, because we're going to be talking and showing you how you could be great. So please tell your friends, tune in, tell your friends to tune in, because I'm going to help you to become great, and for free. God bless you. And this has been What I Teach. This is my classroom. I'm Dr. Anthony Raimondo. This program is presented by Accelerating Evolution, and we want you to accelerate your evolution. God bless for now.